boys can become easily biological women, and I will show you this as what I'm talking about. Okay, these three women are biological women or real women because they look like women. Their skin is soft, they have no facial hair, and they have the women's silhouette, which is the normal length shoulder and wide hips. Okay. The women on my right, the black-haired woman, she is born with the XX chromosome and a uterus. The blonde woman in the center is born with XY chromosome and a male organ, and the woman on my left, the red-haired woman, is born with XY chromosome, but she had a vaginoplasty. But these three are biological women because they look like women. Okay? And it's very easy to become, for a boy, a young boy or an old boy, especially a young boy, to become a biological woman. And there's only 3 actions to do, very easy actions to do. Okay. The first action is to avoid the sun completely. Okay, you don't bake in the sun like anywhere. Like, you just don't take suntan or anything like that. When you avoid the sun, especially between 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And at that time, if you don't have any choice to go out during that time period, you walk on the side of the street where the buildings are shadowed. They shadow the sidewalk. Okay. And the reason why is because the sun rays will age your skin, will create deep creases throughout your skin. It's not pretty. You're not gonna, and also in effect it masculinizes your face. Okay. And also it will thicken your face, which that's a sign of masculinity. And the second easy action to do is be vegetarian and eat only fresh fruits, and also fresh edible leaves. And you don't have any choice to cook your rice, your barley, your oatmeal, or any other, or your potatoes or yams or whatever. Okay. What I mean by fresh fruits and fresh edible leaves is uncooked, and also that has all its juice, all its water inside its tissues. Okay, the fruits and also the edible leaves. Okay. The reason why is because if you cook it, you're transforming it. It's not good. The third action is you ask your family doctor to prescribe you natural women's estrogen on patches. Okay. The reason why patches, because all the molecules that gets through your skin, which is 80% from the patch, all these molecules will have a feminizing effect. If you ingest them by pills, it won't, because the liver will destroy 99% of it. So, and natural estrogen, either when you eat them in pills, to certain people, maybe the gut bacteria will have an explosion. It will give you stomach aches, maybe. Okay, but it's not poisonous. Somebody some guy who tells you you cannot have estrogen in your bloodstream. You cannot take estrogen because it will kill you. So because it's poisonous to man, he's lying. He doesn't want you to look like a pretty woman. He doesn't want you to look like a woman. Okay. And he's racist and classist. Racist against his own kind, because mostly they'll go against boys who want to become women of their own race. Okay. So you ask your family generalists and family doctors have the knowledge to understand what estrogen will do to your body aesthetically. So just tell your family doctor you will pay for the estrogen, which is about like $20, $25 to $54 on the patches. Okay, so it's not that expensive. and you don't need to put that many patch per day. So like the $25 to $54 per month is not a lot, okay? And also, but also if you're only, you have to do the two first action. Avoid the sun, be vegetarian, because if you're only popping estrogen pills and you're taking, or you're sticking patches on estrogen patches on your body, but you're eating a lot of meat, a lot of pork, a lot of beef, a lot of pork, it's not gonna, you're not gonna get feminized. It's not gonna do anything, because the pork, the masculinization, the masculinizing effect of beef and pork will overcome the patches or the pills of estrogen you're taking, okay? So you have to become vegetarian. It's not going to do anything, okay? Now the reason why the rationale behind being vegetarian is because meat and beef and pork gives you too much proteins. When it's too much protein, when you ingest too much proteins in your gut, in your stomach and intestine, the brain will register that, and the brain will tell your testicles or your ovaries to overproduce testosterone and progesterone. And you know what these, respectively for boys and girls, okay? So you know what these two do to your body, okay? And the second reason, okay, beef and pork gives you too much iron. Iron will do the same thing to your skin as sun rays will do to your skin. It will age your skin, will create deep creases throughout your face and your body, especially your face, because it's very sensitive to minerals, hormones, or other molecules. Okay. So it will render you ugly, okay? And the third reason of becoming vegetarian is because you ingest, if you're eating fresh fruits, fresh edible leaves and grains, and even fresh flax seeds, you'll ingest a lot of phytoestrogen. The phytoestrogens are the isoflavones from soybeans and the lignans from western fruits such as pears, apples, citrus fruit, and also flax seeds and sesame seeds. As a matter of fact, there's 1,000 times more lignans in flax seeds and sesame seeds compared to apples and pears. But apples do have a lot of lignans. Okay, this is the lignans. Okay, that I'm talking about. On top, this is a phenol. The phenol will imitate 17 beta estradiol, and it is found in chocolate, dark chocolate. This year's psycho-iso-latticerisinol, you will find that molecule by 1,000th time more in flax seeds and sesame seeds. And when we ingest a lot of this molecule, our gut bacteria transform psycho-iso-latticerisinol into enterolactone. Okay, enterolactone has the same force to bind and the same effect as the 17 beta estradiol. The same effect, meaning that when it binds to the receptor, it transforms this receptor almost similar, the same form as 17 beta estradiol attached to the receptor. Okay, so it has the same effect. Psycho-iso-latticerisinol has a potency of maybe 5%. Imitating 17 beta estradiol, but our gut bacteria transform it into enterolactone, which is very the equal strength. Okay. Other types of fruits, Eastern fruit, Asian fruits, and also soybean, they have a lot of isoflavones. Isoflavone is a form of phytoestrogen. This is genistein. Genistein has exactly the same strength as 17 beta estradiol. It has to attach itself to receptors, but it has an effect of 20%, which is still good. Okay. This is resveratrol. Resveratrol, we find them in the skin of red grapes or dark grapes. Okay, and I've drawn the two molecules, vitamin E and vitamin D. As a matter of fact, vitamin E. Okay, hold on. Okay, as a matter of fact, vitamin E has a feminizing effect. What vitamin E does, it links to the receptor dihydrotestosterone and blocks it. It blocks basically, and even blocks the transformation of testosterone into dihydrotestosterone. Okay, so it even blocks. So the reason why I place the vitamins with the phytoestrogens, just to show, is that the molecules are very similar. Okay, they're like I consider them as in the same family. Okay, when I'm talking about the natural estrogen, when you ask your medical doctor, your family physician, to prescribe you natural estrogen patches, I'm talking about these molecules, the actual molecule. Okay, these are the molecules that have been built inside women's body, our body, and animal body, and even plant bodies. Okay, in plants. On top is the œstrone. On the center is 17 beta estradiol, which is the feminizing hormone per se, or estrogen per se. And then at the bottom is œstriol, okay, which is the third. There's a 17 alpha estradiol, but according to my readings and my observation, it doesn't actually, it's a masculinizing estrogen. 17 alpha estradiol will masculinize you in certain areas. Okay, and when I'm talking about patches, I'm talking about these patches. Okay, these are the patches that I place on my body. This is a estradiol 17 beta estradiol that's found. That's the actual natural molecule found on the patches. Okay, so like I already placed patches this morning on my skin, and I placed them where it's not gonna fall. Okay, it could last me 2 weeks, even a month. Rarely a month, but at these places they last me long. So just around the top of my knee, I already have one here. Okay, and also I already have one here and here. Okay, so I just placed these two on my knee this morning, and also these ones have been there. I've been there for 2 weeks. Okay. The places where they last long on my skin is on my shoulder blades, and also my arms. I have one on my arm, on the top part, and also around on the top part of my knee, around my knee. Okay, they could stay there for a long time. Okay, and it also depends by the seasons. Okay, I used to place them at the bottom of my legs, on my hips, and they don't stay very long. They don't stay for more than 4 hours. Okay, same thing with the back and the stomach. You don't put them on your breast. Okay, just in case you have you already have a tumor, because I think we're born with tumors. The people who catches cancer usually are born with tumors, or their immune system is very low. Okay, so this is the rationale behind. Okay, now the rationale of being vegetarian, ingesting the right amount of phytoestrogen, or sticking patches of natural estrogens such as œstrone, 17 beta estradiol, or œstriol, is for this. This is a molecular cascade from cholesterol. Okay, and the effect by the rationale behind ingesting the right amount of phytoestrogen and sticking patches of natural women's estrogen is to have the retroinhibition effect. Okay, the retroinhibition effect is that, especially for testosterone and 17-beta estradiol, when testosterone we get a high concentration of testosterone in our blood, or a high concentration of 17-beta estradiol in our blood. These high concentration tells the brain to stop changing cholesterol into all these hormones, into progesterone, which is the first sex hormones that is produced, and then the progesterone gets changed into androstenedione and so on. This is called, I call this coloring that I've done, the sex hormone ends, which œstrone is the end towards femininity, and this is œstrone, that's one end, and the other end is dihydrotestosterone, which is the end towards masculinity. Okay. Actually, the most powerful sex hormones in there are the 17-beta estradiol, which feminize us by a lot, by the most, and dihydrotestosterone, which virilize us a lot. Okay, the most. Okay. So the rationale by being vegetarian, ingesting a lot of phytoestrogen, sticking patches of natural estrogen, is to tell the brain to stop producing testosterone or progesterone if you're a girl born with ovaries. If we phytoestrogen and 17-beta estradiol or the other estrogen will lower testosterone by 20% to 80% by 80%. So that's a lot. So by lowering our testosterone, what that will do, if you're a young boy, it will stunt your male puberty. You will grow normally, but you won't masculinize. You won't have like masculine traits. If you're an old boy and you do become vegetarian, you ingest the right amount of phytoestrogen, you stick estrogen patches on your skin, or you take estrogen pills. By lowering testosterone, it will mitigate, it will dissipate your virile traits. But that depends what type of person you are, and especially what you eat. If you eat lots of meat, lots of beef, lots of pork, it's not going to do anything for you. It's probably just going to do a minute change of 1%. It will feminize you only to 1% degree, which is not a lot. Okay, you have to become vegetarian. You have to avoid the sun. Okay, because the sun will promote facial hair growth. Especially if you have. If you pass the puberty and you have like the skin of a man and you have the pores of a man with the facial hair, the sun, if you lower your testosterone to 0, just the sun will still upkeep your facial hair. Okay. So this is the rationale. As I said, I'll show that again. Okay, so this is the rationale of okay. Now, okay, like I have proof, I have some data here. I have collected about 4,000 photos of trans women and trans men and cis people, just to have an idea what's going on. Okay, to prove what I'm trying to see, how somebody could be feminized, how a boy can become a biological woman, or a girl to become a biological man. So let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay, and I will show I will show you two groups. Biologists. There's two. I'm showing trans women from two racial and ethnic groups. Okay, Japanese racially and born living in Japan, or Gaulois Gaulois trans women, white Gaulois trans women living in France. They have like a very contrary diets. Okay, the Japanese people eat mostly fresh fruits and fresh edible leaves and grains and lots of soy product. Soybeans. They're the people that eat the most soybeans throughout the world. The French man is completely the other way, the other side. They eat only meat. Okay. As a matter of fact, biologists and sociologists say that white Gaulois French man and white French Canadian man have the most aberrant diet in the world. White French Canadian man, they will eat moderately only pork or the byproducts charcuterie, and they will eat lots of sugar stuff. Lots of white Anglo-Saxon man capitalist sugar stuff. Their industrial stuff. That's all they eat. Okay, I've seen it, and also I've seen it also by my family and by my entourage. Okay, and white Gaulois men, half of them will eat only beef and a few potatoes and a few sugar stuff. The other half will eat mostly pork, lots of pigs byproducts such as charcuterie, and they will eat lots of starch, pasta and potatoes, and they will eat lots of cakes, sugar stuff. Okay, and here are the proof. Okay. This is a cis man who has accepted to be posed in a schoolgirl uniform for a photograph. So you could tell this cis man looks like a biological woman because her skin is soft, unblemished, and has her bone structure is the same bone structure as women's, the face and the arms. Okay, and there's no facial hair. So this person looks like a biological woman or a real woman. This is a Japanese cis man living in Japan, racially Japanese living in Japan. This is a racially Japanese trans woman living in Japan. She looks like a biological woman. She had her legs still, you could see by her legs and her face that she still have the third layer, which is the fat layer. Okay, and the fingers, the forearm, and the legs, and also the face, the chin. Her bone structure is the same form as women's bones form. Okay, this is a white Gaulois trans woman, and I suspect that she eats mostly beef, a few potatoes, wine. She drinks wine, and she eats just a few sugary stuff. Okay, she has very long arms, very robust arms and legs, long legs. This is a sign that her bone structure is the same form as the man's bone structure. Okay, her chin is longish, a little bit whitish, and protruding out forward. That's a sign of a lot of proteins that she ingests and a lot of growth hormones, and she has acromegaly. Okay, and you could tell that she has a lot of testosterone. She eats lots of beef because her skin is kind of pinkish and grayish, meaning that she has a lot of testosterone for the pinkish, and grayish for she has a a lot of iron in her body. Okay, this white Gaulois trans woman is eating mostly pork and the byproduct, which is called charcuterie, and she probably eats a lot of potatoes, a lot of starch, a lot of pasta, and also a lot of sugary stuff. She has narrow hips, but she has a wide stomach and a wide thorax. Her neck is thick, and you could tell that she has a thick epiderm and a thick derm, and no third layer, which is a fat layer. That means all her fat goes deep inside her thorax and deep inside her abdomen. Okay, so it gives the top part of her torso the barrel shape, but her hips are narrow. Okay, and I don't know. She doesn't look like a biological woman. Okay, she doesn't look pretty. She doesn't look right. Okay, now I will show you. A white Anglo-Saxon, white Anglo-American trans woman that biologists and sociologists, and I see it, okay, that white Anglo-Americans and white English Canadians eat much more fresh fruits, fresh edible leaves, and compared to French Canadian, white French Canadian and white Gaulois French men in France, white Gaulois men in France. Just by the fact they're ingesting a lot of phytoestrogen, that has a feminizing effect. Plus, this Anglo-American trans woman, she probably is taking either estrogen in pills or estrogen on patches. Okay, and she looks like a biological woman. She looks like a real woman. She has the silhouette of a woman. Her skin is soft, bouncy. That means she still has her third layer of skin, which is the fat layer. And she has, by looking at her chin, she has and also her arms, the bone structure is the same form as, her bone form is the same as the form of the bones of women. Okay, so this is now all the images, all my coloring that I show on my videos, and all the images, all the photos of trans women and trans men and cis people that I show on my videos, and also all the scientific sources that I'm talking about, I publish them in a web page that I have. The address is at the bottom on the description of my video, at the bottom of the video. Okay. And the last thing I'd like to mention is that if you do become, like as I said, just by popping pills of estrogen or sticking patches of natural women's estradiol on your skin is not going to do anything if you eat lots of beef and pork and no fresh fruit, no fresh edible leaves. It's not going to do anything. Okay. Now, to make sure, if you do become vegetarian, make sure you acquire the right amount of vitamin B12. You do require even just vitamin B12. And for that, okay, I'm just going to take a sip of water. Okay. Okay, so I get it from soy milk. It's unsweetened. I don't eat any sugar stuff. Anything that has been placed sucrose or sugar cane, sugar from sugarcane sugar. And most soy milk has been enriched by vitamin B12, and this is probably the cyanocobalamin version. Okay, the cyanocobalamin version is a vitamin B12. I don't know if it's natural or not, but it has the strength of 20%, only the strength of 20% of the real bioidentical, the real molecule we need for vitamin B12 that we need for our brain and our red blood cells, which is the methylcobalamin. Okay, The methylcobalamin, yeah, that's right. Okay. So the Seneca is at 20%, but it's better than nothing. Okay. So so it's better than nothing. But actually, I also take pills, sublingual tablets of methylcobalamin. That's the actual molecule that we need in our body to have an effect. Okay, and I've been taking a lot of it. Okay. So it's sublingual tablets. As a matter of fact, you could get sublingual tablets of testosterone and also estrogen, or 17-beta estradiol, or œstrone or œstriol. You could get them, and this is tablets of methylcobalamin, and you put them, same thing with testosterone and estrogen, you put them under your skin, under your tongue, okay. And when it dissolves immediately, it goes immediately into your bloodstream, immediately, like 5 seconds, okay, it gets into your bloodstream, so it gets very fast, okay. So